So I served 9 years in the Marine Corps, grew up in Oklahoma. Hoorah, hoorah. It's okay, it's okay. We'll talk about it later. But I served 9 years in the Marine Corps. I got out of the Marine Corps, not because I didn't love serving my country, but because I wasn't making enough money, driven by money. So I got out of the Marine Corps. The best thing that was happening going on at that time was IT, information technology. You could do anything in information technology, you were guaranteed a job. So I got out because I wanted to make more money. So I went to school, got all these degrees, 2 associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and currently I'm going to Knox Theological Seminary and I'm working on a Master's of Divinity. Then after that, I plan on going on getting a PhD. Yep, I'm a glutton for pain. That's why I'm going through all of that. Needless to say, all of those things that I was doing, I made a whole lot of money in the IT industry. A lot of money. 6 figures. You cannot hire me if it's less than 6 figures. We can't even have a conversation. But the thing about it is that as I'm telling people about my career, telling people about my history, people are saying, well, you were doing a whole lot, but you weren't doing anything. You're doing a lot, but you weren't doing nothing. That's pretty much what was being said. And the reason why I sat down and I thought about it, I was like, you know what, they're absolutely right. And I thought about that question, I thought about that statement over and over and over again. And what I realized was the reason why I didn't stay in the Marine Corps, I could have stayed in for 20 years, got a retirement, had a paycheck for the rest of my life, free medical, free dental, all of that stuff. Going and getting these degrees didn't fulfill anything that I was looking for. What I realized was I wasn't operating and living in my purpose. I was chasing things that were fleeting. Because when I said to myself, I want to make more money, I could never make more money to be happy. I wanted to continue to make more money. Now, even though I grew up in Oklahoma, born and raised, I lived here in Houston. I lived out in Sienna Plantation, Missouri City. Went out there and built this great big old house. I had 2 cars, I had a motorcycle, I had a pool in the backyard, an outdoor kitchen, I had all of this stuff. But I still wasn't happy. Why? Because I wasn't living in my purpose. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, the 7 mastery success pillars. And this is going to be amazing because I'm sitting here and I was listening to Cassandra give her presentation. Cassandra's never seen this. And so as she was going through her presentation and all of the things about success and being an entrepreneur and a business owner, success in life, we're hitting on these same things. And I realized that Cassandra needs to be teaching this course. She needs to be teaching this.
You're trying to give me another job.
And so, but the 7 mastery success pillars, what is it when we ask that question? It's a journey that will take you from your destination of success to your destination of success. Now, the definition of success is different for each and every one of us. I can ask one person, they say, well, I want to be a successful business owner, or I want to be my children to go to college without having to pay for school, or to have X number of cars or size house. So it's all different for each and every one of us. But the 7 mastery success pillars still apply. So it's a philosophy that teaches an individual to master the 7 areas of life. And we'll find out what those are on the next slide. But all in all, this is what it is. The application of proven principles designed that when applied to everyday life has transformed the lives of countless individuals, resulting in explosive growth in both personal and professional development. Plain and simple. The 7 mastery success pillars. Now, I'm not going to sell you anything, but I'm going to convince you of this. Is that if you've got these 7 areas in your life, and any one of them is lacking, your definition of success will never be achieved. You'll get there, and if one pillar falls, you'll fall away from that level of success. But here they are. The giving mastery, prayer meditation mastery, purpose mastery, wisdom mastery, mastermind mastery, form mastery, and financial mastery. Each and every one of these pillars is designed to hold up your house of success, whatever that success definition is. So here is your definition of success. Whatever that definition is that you've decided that is going to be your benchmark for success is defined. That is the foundation. Then you build your pillars. Each and every one of them holding up the support beam, which is your mentor. If you don't have a mentor in your business, or whatever it is that you're doing, get a mentor. I had to learn that. That is one of the key faults of entrepreneurs and business owners. They think that they know it all, and they don't want anybody touching their stuff. But a mentor has the ability to come in and look at your business plan and look at your business model and say, hey, here's a gap. Here's how to fill it. Or they can direct you to someone else that can. But no matter what, these 7 success areas, these 7 areas in your life, if mastered, will not only build your definition of success, but it'll also help build that legacy that you're planning on. So prayer and meditation acts as the centralized support beam. It is the master pillar. It strengthens the other beams. So first and foremost, prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation. I cannot harp on that enough. Now, I'm a man of faith. Cassandra talked about vision. This 7 mastery success pillars is a vision. It was given to me. And the talent that God has given me, which is the ability to teach, the ability to speak, so on and so forth, is coupled with that to create a synergy to be able to help as many people as you possibly can. That's the purpose mastery. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But mastery is a continually applied activity. If you think that you have mastered, for instance, giving, you haven't. Because there are more people, there are more institutions, there are more opportunities to give even more. And we're not talking about money here. Money is just one piece of it. There's other things that you have in abundance that you can be able to give in order to master that pillar. Time, materials, things of that nature. Okay? So let's go through each and every one of these. Again, if you've got a pen and paper, just jot down those scriptures that I have up there. Just go back and read. And if anybody, again, if you want a copy of this, I'll send this to you in PDF form. It is copyrighted, so I hope that I don't see this out there on Facebook without my permission. But I'll be happy to share this with each and every one of you. So let's talk about the first one, prayer, meditation, mastery. Let's define the mastery. Prayer. Prayer is putting yourself in a position to send a request. Now, I don't want to be overly religious about this, okay? Prayer is just simply putting yourself in a position to where you can send a message, whether it's to the God that you worship or to yourself, okay? So prayer is putting yourself in a position to send that message. Now, meditation, that's your position of receiving. You sent the request. By faith, you believe that it's heard, and in meditation, you're waiting for the answer. Now, what does this do for each and every one of us? We don't master this pillar because our minds aren't at rest. Cassandra talked about this. You have got to shut down sometime. You can't go. Because you're not putting yourself in a position to receive the answer to the message. So many of us get sent off track because we send a prayer, Lord help me, let me go and do this, let me have this success, let me have this abundance of authority, let me have this abundance of money, and then we go off and we take off and start doing things on our own. We haven't awaited the answer yet. And then we get down the track and it all just falls apart because that's not what God had for you. Now, Cassandra, I'm not going to preach. I can, but I'm not going to preach. I promise you I won't do that, okay? But the requests that we send up are not focused. Too many times we got a shotgun approach to go in and ask the God that owns and controls everything for what we want. When you learn and you understand how to master prayer, it is laser focused. It is speaking names into existence. It is speaking everything that you have. Everything, this chair was once in heaven. It was an idea. Somebody said, you know what, this would be nice if we could just sit down this way. And somebody created a chair. We don't know how long that goes back, but that's where it was. Okay? Then we don't master this pillar because we receive the message, but then we're paralyzed with fear. Let me give you an example. Leaving the Marine Corps. And this is when we talk about people that you have in your circle that don't understand your purpose, that don't understand what it is that you're trying to do. Okay? We receive the purpose, or we receive the message, but we are absolutely paralyzed with fear. We don't go out and we don't take advantage of that message that came that we were waiting on. And all fear is the false experiences is appearing real. There are people that say, well, I don't want to fall down. Okay, well, how do you know? You've never done it. What are you afraid of? So we received the message, you know what, I want you to go out and start your own business. No, I've been locked in thinking that I'm an employee, so I will always be an employee. So we have a fear. Why? Because that guaranteed paycheck isn't there anymore. When I left the Marine Corps at 9 years, I served for 9 years. I could have served for 20, but I served at 9 years. When I went back to my grandmother and my family and told them, you know what, I'm leaving the Marine Corps, I'm going to school, I'm going into IT. Boy, you crazy. What you gonna do that for? You got guaranteed money. You can do this. But I wasn't afraid.
Right.
I had to go out. Why? Because now I was chasing the wrong thing. I was chasing money. But I was fearless in going out and doing it. So don't let anything, anyone, any situation keep you from fulfilling the message, receiving the message that has come back to you that is telling you to go out and fulfill your vision, fulfill your purpose. Okay? Form mastery. Now this right here is the stop all. What is form mastery? Number one, you are a triune being. You have a mind, a body, and a spirit. Any time that any one of those is out of whack, all three of them are out of alignment. Okay? How many times have you met someone in a really tough relationship and the only thing they could think about is how hurt they are? They can't do anything, they're paralyzed, they can't move, they can't go and do anything. Why? Because their mind is out of whack. We have people that once their mind is out of whack, in order to satisfy that, they start stuffing themselves with bad food. Right? Then the spirit is all messed up. Because when we don't understand what we're putting into our bodies, that throws off our minds, it gets everything that we have, our own identity, the things that we do, the people that we hang around, can all throw us into a different array out of synchronization, I should say, in a different array in who we are. So, when we talk about synchronization, when one is out of sync, all three become out of alignment, reducing healing. Now, one of the things that we have to pay attention to and understand when it comes to form mastery is what it is that we're putting into our bodies and allowing into our minds. Garbage in, garbage out. I'm a person that doesn't watch television. I may sit down maybe an hour, and if I do, I'm watching the news just to see what's going on. I may watch a sporting event or something like that. But how many times have you seen, unfortunately, Centric, BET, channels like that, we have all of these reality shows that are just filled with stuff that isn't beneficial to us. It isn't helping us. It's causing us to be more conniving towards one another. How many people are sitting at work around the cooler talking about what happened on Empire the other day? Can't wait to get home to see what Cookie is doing and all that stuff. And I had no idea what Empire even was until I just sat down. I was like, I wonder what this is all about. And I sat down, and for me personally, I don't participate in coonery. I mean, that's a rough word, I know, but I just don't participate in that type of thing. But when you watch stuff like that, and when you have things like that, and you listen to things on the radio, it is programming your subconscious mind. And it will put you into a position to where you become inferior to whatever it is that purpose and that vision is that God has for you. So you can't achieve it. Or you think that you got to cut corners in order to get there. So we want to make sure that as we're developing and we're working on our form in order to align the triune being, that we're taking care and we're paying attention to each and every one of those things that feeds those three persons of you individually and effectively. One of the biggest things that we have problems with is processed foods. Now I'm working with a young lady, her name is Tabitha Carr. She is working on her PhD in holistic healing and holistic foods and organic foods. Some of the people and some of these corporations, McDonald's, they're hating what she's doing. Her research is going out and it's just putting holes into all of this stuff that they're saying is healthy and nutritious. The McDonald's new chicken sandwich that's supposed to be this and that. Well, all of this stuff has gluten in it. And when you put that stuff into your body, it changes the brain chemistry. That's why everybody's having such a fit about GMOs, gluten, and all that stuff. Because it'll continue to throw your body out of whack. And processed foods, inside of that stuff is stuff to keep you hungry. It's not designed to make you full. That's why you have people in an hour or two later, they're right back at the same institution getting the same things. It's designed to keep you thirsty. So instead of you drinking water, you drink stuff with more sugar in it. Right? And so we'll talk about that as well. You know, one of the things that we're learning and working with Dr. Carr is that sugar is one of those things that we don't pay attention to, and we don't believe that we're addicted to it because it doesn't seem to be that harmful. But the programming has started when we were little. Right? We get up in the mornings and we eat sugar-filled cereal, right? Yep. Cold cereal, and that's just how we do it. But now we've replaced it with a warm coffee with 5 to 6 scoops of sugar in it. Right? Right? and here's the thing. Sugar does just as much damage to your liver and your body that alcohol does.
That's right.
And it does it even more because you don't think that it's hurting you, so you drink more and you eat more of it.
Are you still talking about mastery?
I am. So we want to make sure that we master this form, and so that we put this into our bodies and make sure that we're putting the right things into our bodies. Okay? Purpose mastery. Now, this is one of the things that I had to understand as I left the United States Marine Corps. As I was going into those jobs, as I was continuing to get those degrees, I had to figure out what my purpose was. And the way that I figured out how my purpose, or what my purpose was going back to that mastery pillar, prayer and meditation. I had to figure out and ask God what it is that He wanted me to do. Most people have no idea what their purpose is. You were born for a reason. God gave you gifts for a reason. And it's all rooted in prayer and meditation mastery. So sometimes we have to take a step back and look at where we are and figure out why there's a gap in our happiness and find out if that's aligned or if there's synergies created with our purpose. The way that you go about doing that is design a purpose statement. Anyone here got a purpose statement? You got a purpose statement? Anybody else? All right. So that purpose statement is every morning you get up, that's what drives you. That's what keeps you going. That's what makes you talk to that one more person. That's what makes you continue to be in line with the other mastery success pillars. Your purpose statement must be grounded in helping people. Before, I thought my purpose was in making money. That's why the emptiness was there. Once I realized that purpose was designed, that I was designed for a purpose, and that purpose was to help people, then I began to understand. Then I began to make the transition from looking for a paycheck and looking to help people. So if you understand the 3 P's of success, once you find out what your purpose is, it'll drive your passion. And you'll perform your passion without a paycheck. But when you're fulfilling your passion, that paycheck will come. It'll be there. So you don't even have to worry about that last P because the other 2 are in place and they're performing. And your purpose must stand the test of time. When it's rooted in people, it'll stand the test of time. When it's rooted in money, it won't. Simply because you can never make enough money to be happy, as I mentioned before. You will always do something. And once you get to that diminishing return, you'll begin to cut corners in order to make more money. That's what corporations are doing today. So purpose mastery. The mastermind mastery. This is something that's going to be key to helping you develop and look outside of the box and where your business is right now. This right here, this event, Run Women's Conference, is a mastermind event. Everyone in here has harmonization within their thought process. Networking events create harmonization within the thought process. So it creates a space that benefits the vast majority of we over me. In other words, when you're sitting down with someone that can take a look at your business and say, this is an area where you're weak, your competitors are doing this, this will give you an additional competitive advantage if you perform this, or if you continue to blog or vlog, video logging. That's a competitive advantage. I didn't know that. I didn't know what video logging was until today. That's the mastermind. Going to work. Here's some incredible examples of mastermind. Black Entertainment Television, Robert Johnston. Now, he's not the president or the owner anymore. He's moved on, sold it to Viacom. But he had an idea. He wanted to specifically bring black programming to a specific demographic. So he brought people together to make that happen. BET was born. Bill Gates, Microsoft. The Underground Railroad with Harriet Tubman. She just didn't convince the people that were enslaved. She convinced the people that didn't want to see slavery. She created a mastermind. Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, and then the Wright brothers with Kitty Hawk. Two guys said, you know what, I'd like to do what that thing is doing up there. Why don't we do something? Now we can get to places in hours, where before it took weeks. Financial mastery, the buck stops here. Lack of mastery here will bring your quest for success to a screeching halt. A screeching halt. As Cassandra mentioned before, unfortunately, our group of people don't understand the velocity and the philosophy of money. Money in the black community stays within the black community for 6 hours. 6 hours. Other communities, it stays for weeks, months. The Caucasian community, it stays for years. Okay? Buying things of no value. This is tax season. I do taxes for people just on the side, for free. Instead of them going down and paying H&R Block $300 to do taxes, bring them over here, I got time, I'll do them for free. And don't charge anything for it. That's my ministry. That's helping people. That's building a legacy that will last. Okay? So I asked him the question, what are you going to do with this paycheck? Oh, I don't know already. I'm going out there. It's spent, in other words. It's gone. Not one person that I asked say that I'm going to invest this into something. Not even in a $129 business just to figure out how business works. Not paying yourself first. In order to keep those bill collectors from calling us, we'll pay them before we put $5 in the bank. We've got some good, interesting stuff that's going on behind this. We're working with an individual that is teaching a community the differences between a managed 401k, which they get through their job, and a Roth 401k. It's day and night. One of them you're going to pay taxes on the whole time. The other one you pay taxes on once, and you never have to pay off taxes on it again, no matter how big it grows. You never knew that. And you can start one for $5. So we're trying to convince them to do that. Now let's take a look at some of the industry things that I spoke about. The income and the wealth gap. Here we are. $4,955. That's the average wealth of the African American community. And that says a lot when you think about multimillionaires, when you think about the basketball players and the football players and all of these people, and $4,000 is the average. So there's got to be some people down there with, it's got to be negative. In order to average $49.55, it's got to be negative, considering that wealth. And this speaks of the velocity and the philosophy behind it. So financial mastery, that's one of the key things that we have to understand, we have to learn in order to be successful. How many times has someone said, you know what, I really need this education, but I just don't have the money. I can't afford to go and pay for this class. So once we understand that, then we'll be able to take our success to even higher levels. And wisdom mastery. Zig Ziglar said, you don't build a business, you build people, and the people build a business. I'm an MLMer. I love MLM. Love it, right? But so many people fail at that business because they're too busy trying to build a business and they're not building relationships with the people that come into the organization. That's why they fail. They don't know who's sitting up at the top. They have no idea. The circle of wisdom. Awareness changes everything. When you have someone in your business or in your circle of influence that can help you realize and understand that this is how you need to grow, and you're willing to accept that advice to grow your business, that's when it goes to the next level. Friends begin to move in and out of the sphere of influence. Now, this is a whole nother lesson, but what it is it looks like a target. And in the very center is the inner, outer, the outer, and the outer. And so right now, there are mentors that are on the outer realms of your periphery, your business, your networking group, that will eventually migrate as you start to develop your business and start to find mentors. They will migrate into the inner piece. And then those folks that are riff-raffing around in the inner piece, the ones that keep telling you be afraid, they need to move out.
Amen. Yes. Yeah.
They can still be your friends, but they don't need to be telling you about your business. Right? They don't need to be telling you about your business and your business. Let's put it that way, right? All right. Okay? So a tight fist is a result of a tight mind. Everybody, put your fist up. Make a fist. All right? Try to put something into it. Pick up a pen, piece of paper, try to put something into it. You can't. Right? If your mind is like that, you'll never take your business to the next level. It is shut down. And that's where entrepreneurs get stuck. And they remain entrepreneurs. They don't become business owners. And there's a difference between entrepreneurship and business, right? Mentorship is the key to keeping an open mind. Just inviting people into your business, having them take a look at it. When you go out and you do consulting, and you talk to people about their business, they have a business plan that they wrote back in 1960 something. If they even have it. Your business plan should be viewed every year. New technologies come out. New language comes out. New competitors are in the market every single year. Wisdom mastery. Giving mastery. We need to make it an effort to redefine this mastery. Too many people believe that this mastery has everything to do with money. And it doesn't. It has everything to do with abundance. God gives us abundance in every area of our life. Sometimes it's just an hour going down to the local school and helping to tutor someone. Sometimes it is just going by a friend's house. Hey, I hadn't talked to you in a long time. What's going on? And lending that ear. Everything. It's not just monetary. Anything that you have in abundance, knowledge, time, mentoring, etc. It's a correlation in the mind. Giving activates the same area of the mind as chocolate. Releases endorphins that makes you feel good.
Like cake.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, as I mentioned before, we're working with Miss Tabitha Carr. I had no idea about this. We saw a brain scan of a person that had just gotten done eating chocolate, and a person that went out and did volunteer work, and the same piece of the brain was activated.
See? That's why you should eat cake.
The same. So here, that feeling, that good feeling, we feel good after we eat cake, Cassandra.
Hey, I feel good.
So then we can feel good after we go out and we help. That's giving mastery. The more you give, the more you'll want to give.
Amen.
And that's how you have philanthropy. The people going out. You know, when you look at people across the industry, multi-billionaires, Bill Gates, he is trying his best to give away all of that money. Now, in our minds, we're saying, well, why don't you just give everybody $1 billion? You can get rid of that real quick, right? But that's all paper money. It's digital stuff, right? It's in stocks and stuff, so it's not cash, right? But what he's doing is setting up institutions of philanthropy, institutions of giving, so that each and every area is perpetual. Great word. Right now they're over in Africa. They just found a water table in a place that they said was bone dry. They just found a water table. So now they're pulling water up out of the ground all day long, and they're feeding entire villages. Now the villages can produce farms and all that stuff. It's amazing stuff. That's what giving does. Okay? 7 mastery success pillars. That's summary. To achieve extraordinary success, master the 7 pillars is paramount. If you're in a situation, if you have gotten into a situation where one of the other pillars has fallen off, go back to the master pillar. Start that prayer and meditation all over again. Sometimes you have to hit the reboot button, right? I fast 3 or 4 times a year. That's my reboot. And when I'm in that situation, I get clarity. I get things like the 7 mastery success pillars. I get, Carlton, sell your big old house in Houston and go back to Oklahoma because I got stuff for you. That's where those things happen. And so that's the kind of track that we end up being on. Mastery is a continually applied activity. Fear is not real. There's a lot of people afraid of getting up in front of rooms and speaking. Why? You've never done it before. Why are you afraid? You got to ask that question. Overcome by exposure. Just go out and do it. Better in, best out. Putting in good stuff so that the best comes out. So that you have, in the form mastery, the mind, body, and spirit all aligned. And then find a mentor. Remember, if we go back to that original illustration, the mentor is a support being, right? So we've got prayer meditation. If you know anything about stone masonry, when they used to build houses back in the day, there was a cornerstone. It was the first stone that was laid of the house. You go and you kick that stone over, that house will fall down. It will eventually come down. Prayer meditation works the same way. It's the master pillar. If it crumbles, the entire house is coming down. That support beam breaks. Go out and live the extraordinary life that you deserve. Now here's just a couple of books that I've read, some of them over and over and over again. But these are some of the things that we have to put into ourselves when we talk about better in, best out. I talk to people all the time. We give leadership training and things like that on the east side of Oklahoma City. And I challenge people to turn the television off. Turn off the TV for 30 days and just look at where your life will be. Just 30 days. Watch the news, keep up on that type of thing. But cooking them is paid. They already paid. Yeah. you don't have to worry about that type of stuff. But I encourage each and every one of you, if you hadn't read any of these, or if you have, pick them up again. This is a real interesting book, Shanique Tompkins, Teach and Grow Your Business. Very, very good business book. But again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Cassandra, thank you for allowing me to come up and share this opportunity with everyone. If you have any questions, any comments, again, if you want a copy of this PowerPoint, I'll be happy to send it to you in PDF format. And if you got any questions, just ask. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.